Hey there, it's Elizabeth, and welcome back to another video. I hope y'all are doing well. So I had told you all that I would be doing another book review specifically for this book, Syllabus by Lynda. And yes, I had asked you if you wanted one, and there's the TV. Oh, I needed this, jeez. Anyway, now where was I? Good grief. Yeah, I had asked if you wanted a more in-depth look-see at this book, okay? And y'all said yes. So here I am to do it. Have no idea how long this video is gonna take. So get your cuppa, get your journal, get a dust rag, I don't know, a toilet brush, go about your business and just put me on in the background if that's what you want. So this book, Syllabus, is by Lynda, and I was reminded by a sweet friend on a Facebook group about this book, and I went ahead and ordered it. Now, I have known about this book for years and years. I've always wanted to get it, but just never did for whatever reason. You might be able to find it in your local library. I would suggest before purchasing it that you peruse it, if you can get it through your library, okay? Now, this book here, it's called Syllabus by Lynda, Notes from an Accidental Professor. Okay, now it says back here, she's a cartoonist, writer, and assistant professor of interdisciplinary creativity, aka Professor, long title, at the University of Wisconsin in Madison. All right, now this says here $22.95. I did not pay that on Amazon. I'm not really sure how much I paid, but I know that it was not $22.95. So this book is actually copies of her syllabi that she has used in her university classes, okay? And this, my profession is teaching. My daughter is a teacher. I work in her classroom. And so there were a lot of things in here that I can incorporate into, the class at school. In my daughter's class, if they ever wanted to do journal writing or, whatever the case is. But for us, and specifically, like one of my dear friends asked me, asked me, yes, I'd like to see this book more in depth because, I really want to know if I'm going to use it. Okay. Now, for me, being a teacher and working in a school with a classroom, yes, I can use this book. Okay. Now, I was going through it, okay, and the copyright is 2014, 15, 19, so the latest one was 2020, I'm assuming, okay? What I like about Lynda's books is that she really encourages you to think, okay? And I really like to think. I think quite a lot. I think quite a lot. I think too much at times, but anyway. So all of this is original artwork, like from her, and again, like I said, these are copies of her syllabi and different activities and different what do they call it, like assignments, that she would have her students do. So she worked in what was called the Image Lab, I do believe, and it's just like questions like y'all know I love to ponder, okay? Is creative concentration contagious? I don't know. What problem are you trying to solve? What do ideas look like when they are taking physical shape? So all problems have certain things in common. What are they? I don't know. I think for my friend, you know who you are, who asked me to go through this more specifically, you might be able to use this at your workplace. I'm not sure. But it says right here, this is a book of notes, drawings, and syllabi I kept during my first 3 years of teaching in the art department of the University of Wisconsin-Madison. The chronology is rough and mixed up in places, but all kept by hand on pages of either legal pads or in standard black and white marbled composition notebooks. That's another thing, because y'all know my affinity for composition books. I've been using them for journaling for years, okay? And I love them. And I love I love just the look of this book, right? All of this is like collage work that she just collaged onto Obviously it's a print out of it, you know, in book form, but it looks just like a composition book, right? Okay. And I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Coloring things in by hand as a study aid. Okay, this is, now I was going back over this book before I started this video. Excuse me. And this part right here, I will read, but this is what became just so interesting to me on the second go round. No, actually, this is my third go round. Okay, so she has quotes in here. Again, these are all like, you know, printed images of the actual, you know, books that she used to make. And they are very reminiscent of what we do in our own collage notebooks, you know, or our own composition notebooks, or in our own creative daily journals, right? So it says here, I began keeping a notebook in a serious way when I met my teacher, Marilyn Frasca, in 1975 at the Evergreen State College in Olympia, Washington. Okay. And then she talks about how she started, you know, how she started. And then I read here from my notes taken April 5th, 1977. Okay. Marilyn, I guess Marilyn, this teacher that she learned a bunch of stuff from, this is what Marilyn said. How do you stop saying nothing happened? Okay. Stop the presses. Okay. Stop right there. That is a question, an age-old question, especially in the journaling community. Nothing happened. What do I write about? Nothing happens in my day. My day is boring. It's mundane. I do nothing. You know what? Nothing happened. Okay. So here's one way to stop saying nothing happened. One way is to pay attention, be quiet, and see what's there. Okay. Not agree with, understand, like, just see. Okay. So be quiet and see what's there. Not agree with it necessarily, but understand, like, just see. Okay. 24-hour period, moving back to see what was there. The nature of this 24-hour, something, I don't know what that says, feeling and tone. Okay. And then she has some just watercolor images down here, right? So this is just a journal entry, right? And it's her thoughts on it, okay? Now, look at this right here, okay? We'll stop there. We'll stop this thought on here. I'm just telling you that, like she says, her old teacher, yeah, just stop, pay attention, And even though, like, in my journals, I write about my everyday life, but those are things, so I'm not putting in, like, news stories. I'm not putting in my deepest, darkest feelings. I'm not putting in really all that much emotion. I'm just simply writing about what happened in that day, And so it does cause me to stop and see what's around me, listen to what's going on around me, what exactly I'm doing, I don't know. It just kind of keeps you in the present, I guess, because you're observing all these things around you at any given moment, and I think that's really what she moves toward, in this. And so could you use it for your own journaling? In my opinion, absolutely yes. Yeah. This is how she sent out her syllabus, okay? It says, this set of 4 little pages is my first syllabus. I mean, would you not want to have this lady as a teacher? For reals, folks, for reals. Like, who wouldn't want to get that? And I would love to do something like this in a 5th grade class, right? These are college students. And I mean, as a college, back when I was in college, I would have loved to have gotten this for a syllabus. Are you kidding me? I probably would have gotten into journaling a lot earlier. So this talks about, like, what it is, and that is a class that she teaches or used to teach. I'm not sure what she's doing right now, but it's a class she used to teach. And again, could be teaching it now. This is also the title of a book, What It Is, by Lynda Berry. And she just has so much information, you know? Like, she puts her studio office hours here. Questions again. I see you too. If the thing we call the arts has a biological function, what is it? Good question, right? And then she goes on, you know, the expectations about punctuality, whatever. This is all about her classes, okay? Then you get into it. I'm not going to go through this page by page, but like this is one of her pages here, right? She put her hand down and then, you know, traced it and watercolored it. Has these doodles. I mean, doodles everywhere. Alphabet everywhere. What does originality have in common with the original digital device? Digital device. The original digital device, okay? How would you find this out? Where would you start? So again, this is all about the hand, the original digital device, right? Where would you start? You know, she just makes you want to think, okay? And I mean, my goodness, if I could take her class, I think I would love it. I think I would really enjoy it, okay? Now, I have to tell you, there are obviously images in this book that are not suitable for children, in my opinion. So I would not take this into the classroom. I would not share this with the 5th grade class, but I can definitely glean so much to use in the classes, okay? This is another one, right? And these are just doodles, you know, son of a syllabus. That's hilarious, okay? And it's through the English Art, Theater, and Drama Department, I believe. Like, this is it right here, a special course. And this is it. This is her syllabi that she sends out. Like, how great is that, right? Notes and observations, okay? That is what a journal, in my opinion, is for. Now, I could get a separate, you know, composition book, which would be super fun if I had the time, and just to write notes and observations, right? Thinking can't get you there. Notes and observations. The center that I cannot find is known to my unconscious mind, okay? And that's by W.H. Auden. But just doodling and just writing, like being in the moment and writing things down, okay? Then she goes into, well, this was interesting too. What is a bad drawing? Okay, she has her students just draw, and they look like a 5-year-old, not a 5th grader. A 5-year-old drew it, right? And it says, how old do you have to be to make a bad drawing? Is this a bad drawing? Okay, again, in the journaling community, you know, how many of us, and me included, I did say this at one time, you know, well, no, that's a lie. I don't ever think I've said that I can't draw. I don't think I've ever said that because I don't like that term, I can't. But I did used to say I'm not a drawer, okay? I don't prefer to draw. But over the years, I have changed that mindset, you know, because I do doodle and I do draw things out, and I have really enjoyed learning how to do that and working that part of my brain. It's been a really great learning experience. So how old do you have to be to make a bad drawing? You know, that's a question that we can all ask ourselves, you know. This is a picture of a drawing of a nurse. I can tell it's a nurse. I mean, she has her little thingy there and she's got her nurse's hat on, you know. She looks like she might have bags under her eyes. Another indication. Drawn by one student in less than a minute and colored by another. Is it bad? Well, my answer would be no. It clearly is a nurse, okay? So that was some of her exercises, right? In the book, like the adults, right? The students would draw these pictures and they only had less than a minute to draw them, okay? And what a great, not some of them, but what a great activity to have for either students, you know, or as an exercise for you to do in your own composition notebook, you know. I mean, you could do all of these things in your own composition notebook. Which of these is a bad drawing? They were all drawn during the same 60 seconds by students in her What It Is class. I asked them to draw a robber in the style of Ivan Brunetti, which is another teacher, I believe, another instructor. But, like, you know, so they all drew their own version. And look how different they are, you know? So, yeah, it's just, I don't even know if I'm explaining it correctly, but there are so many things in this book that we could take into our creative daily journals, you know? Just even having pages that where you doodle a picture, right? And not be afraid, especially if it's in your own journal. You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid, you know? Let's draw a car and then let's draw Batman. So all of the students drew cars and, you know, their own version. And then she, you know, she has notes about all these things and the way that she thinks, right, about these images. Okay, now I wanted to go, this is another class she did, the Unthinkable Mind. Art, science, and English equals this class. If you had an unconscious, how would you know about it? Now there's a question to ponder. Oh my goodness. And then, yeah, like left and right, right and left. Your brain, you know, studying your brain. That's another thing that she does, is she does put for study of the brain, you know, and how our brains function. And I think that's so interesting, you know. Where did you get your imagination? What a great question. And then as far as looking at this as a page in a composition notebook, right? Now, this is her syllabus, right? But look at all the, like, she has stickers down here that, I mean, it's so reminiscent of what we do all the time, you know, in our books. And all the different ways that you can add bits and pieces and collage work, and just to make it so visually appealing, you know, all these different, you know, like types of lettering and just collage work, writing and picture making, okay? They're studying about the brain, so she has a clipping of the brain, right? I mean, oh my goodness, you know? So yeah, I think this is hilarious. If you had an unconscious, would you know about it? How would you know about it? Oh my gosh. This is from her Making Comics class. Here, these are more syllabus, okay? These were like questions for students applying to the Unthinkable Mind, right? And these are some of the questions that, like, people had to apply, right, to be in this. And these are some of the questions she wanted you to answer, okay? What classes did you take? Yada, yada. I thought these were interesting, though. What were some of the books you read as a kid? What were some of the games you played? What were some of your favorite fictional characters when you were growing up? Okay, who's your favorite elementary school teacher and why? Who was your least favorite elementary school teacher and why? Now, these are all great questions and they go on. I think it's interesting that she would ask these types of questions in a class of hers, but you know, whatever, it's her class. And I think they're great. But going back to journaling in a creative daily journal, like when you say nothing happened, okay, you could go back to some of these questions, you know. Excuse me. Now, this is interesting. The past, the seedling past that keeps growing and changing, not fixed at all. Because, of course, anyway, won't go into that. Okay. A part of ourselves we have not forgotten, but have forgotten how to remember. All right. This has something to do with fiction. Fiction as memory without remembering. Experiences that don't have to pass through thinking. Okay, reformulated by a series of images, written, drawn, sung, sculpted, art forms, whatever. Okay, this is what we do in our journals every day, folks, right? Now, oh, and then these are some of the answers. So to her questions, the application questions, right? This I thought was super fun. Like in her class I'm sure she tells you why, but in the Unthinkable Mind, she names all of her students a piece of the brain. Like, The basal ganglia is Mark, like she renames them and that's what their name is for the whole class. But look at this, just bits of stuff that she put on here, right? We need to draw while listening to a story together. So they were reading Grimm's Tales aloud, okay? And they were practicing drawing just while they were listening, which I think is cool. In grade school, we didn't listen critically to stories the teacher read us. Somehow restore that state of mind. Yes. And so again, as a teacher, this book is like a treasure trove for me. I'm not a teacher, by the way. My profession is teaching. I'm a teacher's assistant for my daughter in 5th grade. But I used to be a teacher, and I used to be a creative writing teacher. So I really wish I had had this book before. But yeah, this is absolutely spot on. Yes. And I am seeing this in the grade school that I teach at. They do not listen critically. Yes, we need to change that. Okay, anyway. Now, let's get into like this, I mean, just doodling and drawing and writing numbers and alphabet, Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's just, it's amazing. Let me see here. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is when she talks about naming all the people. She says, I'll be sending each of you a separate email letting you know which part of the brain I've assigned to you randomly. This will be your identity for the entire semester. Oh my goodness. Maybe they had to do self-portraits. I'm not really sure. Here are her classroom rules. We do not use our real names in class. We go by character names, either assigned or chosen. We never talk about the work that is read aloud, either in or out of class. We do not ask. I don't know. This is just interesting to read, okay? They begin each class by drawing a 2-minute self-portrait on an index card, turn it in dated. So that's what these are right here, right? So these are, Stella Luna. So obviously maybe Hermione, I don't know. Maybe this had to do with Harry Potter characters. I'm not really sure. Or no, maybe it was fictional characters that they liked. Maybe that's what it was. And so, yeah, each day they would have to come in on index cards and draw a self-portrait, right? That's just fun to do anyway. You know what I'm saying? And, oh yeah, this was from the books. These were from the questions she asked at the beginning of class, right? Self-portraits. Oh, this is this guy. This is him during finals. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And she collects all of them and then gives them back to her students. Okay, I'm spending way too much time on this. Okay, so these are, again, okay, your composition notebook, and this has to, this is what she has her students do, right? So it says notice what you notice, okay? That is part of journaling, notice what you notice. So, ponder, my favorite word, one of them. Your composition notebook equals, 1/3 of their grade, but is the heart of our class. Also the liver, spinal cord, and cerebral cortex. During this semester, you should take it everywhere and fill it in with things from your day and also your night. What sorts of things? Someone asks. She says, things like everything. Daily diary page drawings, notes from our class, notes from other classes, drawings. And I went over this in my last video, which I'll put below. Drawings, tracings, things you find, glue or tape in your book, observations, doodles, lists of all kinds, articles, receipts, photos, all of these things, okay? I'm sure you can read it there. Rants, raves, comics, predictions, sketches, all of these things you can put in your book, in your daily creative journal, if that's what you want. Now, this is an exercise here that I really think is interesting. And it talks about 7, like they're supposed to divide their paper in their composition notebook into 4 sections, right? And this one, you list what you did that day. 7 things you did, whether it was drink coffee, work on the computer, cut magazine clippings, design journal pages. Let's see. I mean, 7 things, quick, and it's quick. Like she doesn't give a lot of time, I don't believe, for doing this. And then you have to write down 7 things that you saw, right? 7 things that you saw. Leaves blowing through the air. I mean, so it really, and along those lines, or whatever, a shoe in the middle of the road. I'm just thinking of things that I might have seen randomly, a bouquet of flowers, things like that. And so it teaches you kind of to just like be in the moment and observe the things around you in that moment, And then down here is a little spot to write in something that you heard, She encourages you to not really eavesdrop, but listen to what's going on around you, Maybe you heard somebody yelling at somebody else, unfortunately. Maybe you heard somebody say, wow, your dress looks really pretty today, so you would write that down. And then you draw a little picture. So, and then she writes here like a conversation. Supposed to do this every day? Yeah. But life is so boring. How many of us have thought that? Okay. Guess what? Your life is not boring. Life in general is not boring. There is stuff going on all around you all the time, okay? There are things to be done. There are things to be seen. There are things to be heard. I mean, it's amazing. And then to compile it, on one page and gluing bits down, just like over here, your daily freak out. I could do that daily, right? Put in schedules. So many things, my gosh. So this person says life is so boring. It'll be the same thing each day. How many of you guys answer that? How many of you guys that are new to journaling or want to journal or have been journaling even for a while? And sometimes this comes out. It'll be the same every day. My life is boring. It's not boring, folks. Your life is not boring, and it is worthy to be written about, okay? Nothing interesting ever happens to me. Hey, look, that kid just dropped his hot dog. Write that in your diary. Seriously? Yeah. And write down what and write down what she's saying too. So here she drew a little doodle, Oh my gosh. Yeah, what's going on around you? Like things like this banana falling, this mother rushing off. Oh no, it was the hot dog. It was the hot dog that fell, sorry. Write what's going on around you. Things like the hot dog falling and the mom is in a hurry. Hurry up. Where did we park? We're going to be late. What goes into your diary are things that you noticed when you became present. There it is. You guys probably already read it by now because I'm just yammering on. That is to say, when the hamster wheel of thoughts and plans and worries stopped long enough for you to notice where you were and what was going on. Okay? I mean, this page right here, I would never rip this book up, but I would like to frame this. Okay? Daily diary will teach you to hear, see, and remember the world around you, okay? Oh my goodness. Yeah, see, she does put a time limit on it. Spend 2.5 minutes making this list of 7 of what you did, 2.5 minutes what you saw, 30 seconds of something you heard, and 30 seconds of drawing a picture, all right? She goes into how she wants her composition notebook set up in this particular class. She often does this right here, these concentric circles or swirls, They're not concentric circles, it's a swirl. And it's relax your whole self. And she tells you, like in her class, right? She has the students doing these circles as she's reading, perhaps, maybe from Grimm's. And you're not allowed to touch, like the lines are not allowed to touch. And yeah, it is just amazing, like you just relax, you relax and draw a spiral for about a minute while remembering the day as it comes to you. Okay? let me just show you. At the beginning, I hope it was at the beginning, and you got, yeah. Okay, because I just got these books at the beginning of this year. Okay, here it is right here. Now, I didn't do this, right? But I did do this. And I did this while I was sitting in class, in my daughter's class, and she was teaching math. Okay, so, and I'm observing, I'm observing the kids. I'm listening to what's going on. I can hear the ticking of the clock. I can hear somebody tapping on their desk with a pen. This is what I heard, okay, one of the kids say. Have you ever tried to talk while breathing backward? Oh dear. Now that is a question to ponder, and they did end up having a serious discussion about it, and everyone was trying it. Not during math class, but this was, I did some of this during math class, and then some of it I did during lunch. But here are my spirals. Every time they started touching, I moved on to another one. Oh, no touching. So yeah, here, there's my pencil holder on my desk that I drew. These are just some, What to do during math class: pay attention. That's the most desired. Take notes, work out problems in book. No tocas, which means, no touching in Spanish. Call out answers. They were doing greater than or less than. So I was, made the little crocodile mouth. I want more. This was what not to do. So these are things that I observed, right? Don't stare into space. Don't play with your Rubik's Cube. Don't go to the bathroom. Don't dig in a bucket and adorn your desk with tchotchkes, okay, or kitsch. Don't moan. Don't stare at the ceiling. What is up there that's so dang interesting? Yeah. This was one kid from the top view with her head on the table, and then I wrote, math is dying a very slow death. Yeah. So, and that was just super fun to do. It really was a great exercise in just sitting for a moment, taking a breath, and observing the things around me, just observing the things around me. Now, some of these items, these exercises, you can, of course, incorporate into your daily creative journal in many different ways, okay? Many different ways, such as all these things for some of us who say, oh, my life is boring. I do the same thing every day. You can put all kinds of stuff in your book, all right? But I think it would be super fun, and one day I might do this, is make my own book of these types of pages, right? And then make my own composition book of daily observations, things we overheard. So she writes down, things that people in her class had overheard. Yay, we're med students, woohoo! I can't listen to everything you say, it's too much. Oh my gosh. And this is just random things that, she lists here, what some of the people did that day. Ran up the down escalator, watched a dude eating a ton of tortilla chips, discussed, duck this in biolab, okay. Drank an adult beverage with my grandpa. Okay, so these are things that some of the kids did. Again, not a children's book, just saying. Okay, what did they see? Some of the things. A skeleton with a ring on its finger. That must have been in med class. Mike's stringy beard. Just so many observations just in a day. In a 5-minute period, It's just life. Life goes by so fast, and why not record it? Why not record it? She does go on to include other making lines, just sitting there making lines, just very meditative, being in the moment, it's just so interesting. The only way to understand this is by making things. Thinking about it, theorizing about it, chatting about it will not get you there, okay? So profound in my opinion. Yes, the only way to understand is by making things. Just make a journal, right? Just make a journal. I'm so many interesting things in here, but she does go on to, okay, see, here's another, the X page exercises. So we begin by opening our comp books to a clean 2-page spread, number this side from 1 to 10, start with a dot and make your spirals, right? So here they're making their spirals, they're relaxing, and I think she is saying this while you work on your spiral. Like perhaps she's saying this out loud to her students as they're drawing their spiral, right? Pull all of the attention on the tip top of your head, then move it to the center of your forehead, then to the bridge of your nose, your nostril. It's kind of like a meditative, just winding down, relaxing period, right? And then here is the X, and she goes on. This is like an extension of the 4 boxes. So this is a different, it's an extension of the 4 boxes. So here are some of the questions, right? Where are you? What time of day or night does it seem to be? What season does it seem to be? Where is the light coming from? What kind of light is it? What's the temperature like? What does the air smell like? What are you doing? Is there anything else in this image with you? What are they doing? Why are you there? All these questions, right? Then it says, when you're ready, turn a clean sheet of paper and write this image up. Stay in first person, present tense, write for at least 8 minutes without stopping. Okay, so this is what it looked like. All right, the X page. But then she does, I do believe, she tells you homework to do. Oh, she did do coloring and stuff, and you'd have to get the book to read it because I can't read the whole thing, but they were coloring pages, and then they realized which colors that they were drawn to, of course, and they were, the ones that were most used, right? This person likes greens, yellows, and blues, not so much of the reds and oranges and pinks, right? That's an interesting exercise. Here are more crayons. Why use them? I mean, just all these, super awesome exercises. Just, if I was teaching a creative writing class, I would definitely use this book as part of the supplemental material that I would be using. But let's see. And then these, again, reminiscent of what we do in our books, different doodles, different patterns, just drawing dots, putting in collage images, all sorts of fun things. Here are more exercises she does in her book. So let's see, like 3 minutes, she timed her students to draw a castle in 3 minutes, and this is what a student drew. And then it goes down from there, this one being 5 seconds. But guess what? You can still tell it's a castle. Yeah, so interesting. But what if you don't know how to draw a castle? It turns out you do. Yep, these books, well, this one in particular is so encouraging to me as a journaler, or as someone that keeps a journal. It's just so encouraging to think about the daily things that go on in your life, that go on around you, and to write them in a book, and to stick images down, and to perhaps draw pictures. And I mean, so many things. I love this book so much. It's not even funny. Here are other things that she did. This is her homework. Yeah, this is just homework. These are some of their pictures that they drew. Drawing jam, right switch. That's fun. I think, yeah, it was a round robin. So you drew something and then you passed it to your neighbor. The drawing jam pictures, that's what she called it, a drawing jam. I don't know where that other, maybe it's back here. Okay, here's another assignment, or exercise that you can do, This would be great. Like, pick a daily diary page from last week in your book, right? And then circle all the nouns you've written on the page. or drawn. Like if you drew a chicken, circle that, right? Choose 4 that are either too simple or too complicated to draw. Draw them in the first column. I mean, this is the whole lesson, right? But this would be so super cool to do in a classroom. It would be a cool exercise to do on your own, She did panel comics and stuff. This is it right here. Okay, so this is an extension of the earlier one that's put into 4 sections. And so it's just put into an X on your page, right? So a new diary format. In this triangle, you put things that you did. You list 6 things that you did. In this one, you list the things that you heard. In this one, the things that you saw. And then the drawing from your day, okay? So yeah, this was the homework was to continue doing this. And the kids, I keep saying kids because I'm referring to a classroom. The students, kept these journals ongoing. So it was, yeah, it's just so many things. Okay, what's the difference between awareness and attention? What do they have to do with making your X page? So more questions to get you thinking, Resume daily practice of writing from memory. I really enjoy this book so much. And I think hopefully the person who is watching this that asked me specifically if it was worth it, I think in your case, you know who you are. I think in your case, it might really be beneficial to your workplace. I don't know. But the thing that I like is that it teaches you to think, or not teaches you, it encourages you to think, and keeping a daily diary, right? The 4 X page exercises, just sitting there drawing things around you. And if you don't like drawing or doodling, don't draw or doodle. Then cut out a magazine clipping, find a sticker, whatever. Dear the Unthinkable Mind, okay. Fill in the blank things. These are just fun. And then this is one of her collage sheets, I have been crazy. This was from 2011, and to be able to stand not knowing and not trying to guess long enough for the image to be able to come forward. Yeah. It's just, the Unthinkable Mind. That was one of her classes that she taught. Here's another collage page of just stuff, What does it say? Not even nothing lasts forever. Or a bad drawing, just different things, words, tumble, things, just things put on a page, right? Homework, these little drawings, I think in the end, what you could take, why did I have this dog-eared? Okay, we know, let's see. On my mind is the question raised by some of my students about what things are worth drawing and writing about. Okay, let's hear this. I don't believe thinking can give you the answer to this, though it feels like it can long enough to stop us from trying, okay? We know that athletes, musicians, and actors all have to practice, rehearse, repeat things until it gets into the body, the muscle memory. But for some reason, writers and visual artists think they have to be inspired before they can make something, not suspecting the physical act of writing or drawing is what brings that inspiration out. Worrying about its worth and value to others before it exists can keep us immobilized forever. Okay? Any story we write or picture we make cannot demonstrate its worth until we write it or draw it. Yes. The answer can't come to us any other way, okay? That right there in a nutshell is one of the many reasons I purchased this book, okay? Because as a journaler, as a person who keeps a daily journal, I want to be in the present. I want to be writing about things that are going on about me or not about me, about my life, going on in my world. You know what I'm saying? And she is so encouraging to, refrain from saying, I can't draw. My life is boring. I don't know what I'm going to put on this paper, because there are so many things that you can put on a paper. And I love this so much. So yes, I guess in short, should you get this book? Well, my immediate answer would be yes, get it. Okay. However, I'm not going to tell you what to do. So, like I said at the beginning of this very long video, is to, I would suggest that you first look, see if you can check it out at your library, okay? Or, if you're able to in your area, go to a local bookstore and see if it is there, pop a squat in the corner and look through it, peruse it and see if it's something that you would like. I've given you a taste of some of the pages that are in here. I think that her questions are amazing. Again, I love to think. I love to ponder. I think her questions are very interesting. Like, look at this one. What is the difference between autobiography and fiction? Is a dream autobiography or fiction? Where do you go when you go to sleep? Does your dream self know about your awake self, And then here's another exercise. Write 7 types of fiction and write 7 types of nonfiction. Why do we rarely know how our dreams begin? Do they begin? Interesting question. So yeah, I think it would be a very good tool to have in your journaling arsenal. I think her exercises are fabulous. I think they're very thought-provoking. I think they're very interesting. And I would love to just, even like for a morning pages, now that I'm thinking about it, like a morning pages to do like an X page or the four square page, or just to do a doodle a day, just do a doodle a day. Yeah, there are just so many things that you can do and so many fun activities and exercises in this book. And it's just really fun. Like, look how fun that is. The little bunny she doodled. But just even this back here, wherever I read it, where was it? This right here? Yeah. Muscle memory. That's it. When you start doing something and you're doing it every single day, then it does become part of your muscle memory and you just end up doing it. You know what I'm saying? So the more you draw, the better you're going to get at it. The more you journal, the better you're going to get at it. The more you do lettering in your books, the better you're going to get at it. Does that even make sense? The better you're going to get at it, the better you will become. I don't know. Anyway, there it is. There is the extended version of the review on the Lynda Berry Syllabus book. I, as you can tell, really enjoy it. Really, really enjoy it. And I think I'm going to go out right now onto my patio and I'm going to read it for a 4th time because it is that good. Yeah. So I really hope that you enjoyed that. I hope that if you do end up getting the book, I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. I think it's a really great resource to have if you are a journaler, or if you want to take note of what happens in your life on a daily basis. I think there are some really wonderful exercises in here that I think you might enjoy. So, yeah, thank you for sharing your time with me. And that was a whole lot of time, and I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. So, yeah, I think that's all for now, and I will talk to y'all real soon. Bye for now.